shit.
You gonna bash Mark?
Everybody good?
You said, am I bashing Mark?
Hell
what I'm gonna say when I
you
come
on
off the top.
Fox, he probably got $1 million
Yeah.
deal. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I'm at everybody.
You already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez, man. New info suggests that the media only told one side of the story to kick it off and then backtracked and shared the rest of the story. Is in any other case of selective reporting, or is this accountability by just catching up? Like, what the fuck happened with Mark Sanchez in this story?
Well, the media was just too thirsty to use his name. Just for
That was
anything.
the trap they said.
Yeah, like they just wanted
That's the clickbait right
use
there.
his name to bring, eyes to the story, and they should have got the full story first before, they painted him as like not the aggressor or whatnot, because stuff that's coming out looks kind of crazy, and it doesn't feel right to feel like because he's a football player or whatever, because we know him, we're getting false information. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of wrong.
I mean, in reality, man, for a long time myself, I don't speak on it, but we talked about it. Me, media, and just reporting certain stories, not having the full thing, not even wanting to understand it. I've always had a problem about wanting, I remember a news outlet, I was helping with the news outlet before, and they literally did not care. They were like, we just got to get to it first. We can always go back. We just got to get to it first. Like,
Bad ball.
and that, to me, I just don't like that. Like, you mean to tell me you don't care if you tell the wrong thing? You don't mean that, like, if you don't have no facts, you just want to be the first one to report it first because that's the story. Everyone's going to see that first, no matter how wrong you are. I've always had a problem with that. And that's just one of these cases, they was rushing to be first, right? Like, whatever information is, to me, it sucks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's extremely tough, like y'all said, and I disagree with being the first, in media, instead of just having the full story, just waiting for that opportunity to give the full story. And I also, I hate that we're in a world now where we take the first thing that we read and we run with it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't take the first thing we read and go research about it.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in, and it's tough because you're talking about a Mark Sanchez who I think a lot of us already know, whether it was playing or us watching growing up at USC, and we never want to see, a former friend or player go through this. But man, like I can't get behind, somebody getting drunk, somebody trying to maul somebody over a parking spot. Like that's no bueno, dog. And it sucks because now he has to, go through court. Now he has to go through all the things that, for me, knowing him, it's just like, I don't believe this is you, and this is what the world is going to paint you as.
Yeah.
The aggressor, the athlete that might have CTE all of a sudden.
Right.
Like that's the narrative that the media teed up, and the world's going to more or less give it to you. Like that's the messed up part about this. So, yeah, man, everybody do your research first, man. Don't just take that first.
Mark, you fucked up. You made a mistake, a big one.
For real.
I think you need to take accountability for it and just own it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got some dark things going on, some things you probably ain't shared with your family and friends, I think it's time that you share them and you check on that man, give him his respect, apologize. Like, it's a lot of things that could have been avoided from this if you weren't feeling the way you were feeling or intoxicated or anything like that. I think accept the accountability, man, and just move on. Like, you got to do it. You got to do the time now. You got to pay.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Own up to it and just deal with it as a man. That's what we got to do. You made the mistake. You knew what you was doing.
I'm really happy that it didn't get, something didn't happen worse.
You feel me?
For
Like,
real?
thank God that you didn't kill this man or anything,
Or
because
he didn't kill
you're
you.
labeled as the football player, immediately aggressive. The judge is looking at you like, oh no, you're bigger than him. This dude is 67, bro.
That's
67.
that's
You could
the
have
part
de-escalated the situation.
where,
whatever it was.
That's the part for me that's disheartening, and we all make mistakes.
But go ahead.
My dad is like 67.
So could you imagine?
You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what I'm saying?
Like that's kind of where I go, and we think about the shape that a 67-year-old is in. At that point, they're becoming fragile and weakening. So my biggest hope is that, maybe he was, very intoxicated, maybe very angry,
I think
maybe quick words and a short temper, and things just kind of happen. And, being a football player, we tend to react, quickly, especially with violence. I think we're kind of used to and accustomed to. But you also got to recognize, on the field, you in the street, it's a 67-year-old dude, one wrong punch could have ended his life, land you, in jail and away from your family. So very disheartening, very, I don't even know a word to say, but,
It's sad, bro.
Sad, and I
is.
do see it as a mistake. I don't think that's who Mark is. I think he had
Not
a
at all.
bad moment, bad night.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like it was a cry for help, and I'm not trying to take his side. It was wrong in every way.
Yeah.
But us as football players, we're aggressive, bro.
Yeah.
For him to do something like that to a 67-year-old man,
Does make
It's-
you think like
it
what's
makes you, like-
wrong?
Well,
Is everything
because
all
I know how
right?
to de-escalate from a older people. You know what I'm saying? I know
Yeah.
how to let that, like, all right, look.
You
nah,
took my spot
I'm
or
not
you
doing
cut
this
me
with
off.
you.
Yeah,
Right, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, you got it.
I'm
But-
not fighting over
The
it.
craziest thing about it too, though, just because I'm thinking about like a couple situations that I've had to, like, right, I put myself or put my son or put knowing who I am, right? Now, we all know people. People can say, talk shit, do whatever, right? Because they just kind of people. And then, depending on the culture of who you talking to, sometimes they be real assholes. They be assholes. But there's been a couple times where I've had to think about it like, man, you really don't know. I'll fuck you up. But if I fuck you up, I know
day
there's
for
gonna
you.
be a story. I know that like you are right edging or arcing me to try to like fight me or say something because you get under my skin. Or in this case, right, you're Mark Sanchez, so maybe he do know, so he is saying something to get under your skin, but you gotta realize you got more to lose than he do, you know?
Or, if you, I don't hate to say it, but it is what it is. If you are a football player, and that means you may have, maybe bigger size, and you might look more physically imposing. You got to see it from the perspective of, y'all might be getting at it and about to fight, but then once you come in now, he might see you as a huge threat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A threat that he, may want to use lethal force against. And I
Which
actually
you
wanna
did.
I want to use this time to
Pepper spray, like that.
to-
That would slow me down.
Pepper spray should have
Let's-
slowed him down.
immediately. But let's
I've been
learn
sprayed
from
before.
this, because this is our, our second, USC brother, and we lost one to a road rage
Yeah,
incident. So
yeah.
I think it's a good time just to at least talk about road rage, and at least from an athlete aspect, because we know things happen. I've been in situations. I've been on the road. I've been cut off. I've had people roll their window down and say stuff to me, and I've looked in that car and I'd be like, if I get out this car,
You ain't
you're gonna
gonna-
be sorry.
you-
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
And but I've been on the aggressive side, and I've said things, and I wanted to do things too, and I just want to say that we got to use this time and this story as a life lesson. It's not worth it. It's not worth the fight. It's not worth the argument. It's not worth you potentially getting harmed, shot or stabbed. It's not worth you dying over a road rage incident. So some kind of way we gotta get to that second thought, because I know what the first thought is. I've been there.
Whoop your ass over there.
Right, like you don't know who you talking to. You talking crazy, and I'm gonna get out this car and I'm gonna handle you. But let's have that second thought, and let's think about what could potentially happen next, because there's gonna be a next. And in this day and age, it's probably not gonna end in a fight. It's not gonna end in you knocking them out and standing over and you go home. Like, that's not the world we live in. People protect themselves. People carry protection. So a fight, a lot of times, is going to end in some type of knife, gun battle, or maybe they call somebody and now you're looking over your shoulder.
Somebody
So
worked all of that.
let's
bro.
just, let's try to get to that second thought, man, especially as athletes, because I know we're accustomed to dealing with situations with violence. Unfortunately, you know, that's the game we play. And I always say, like, when I was playing football, like, man, like, I used to tell people who didn't play, like, man, you know, we can't really turn this shit on and off like you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be in one instant in kill mode, and then in this instant, I'm a nice guy. Like, I can, but that element is still
harder.
there.
Yeah, it's
like
hard.
I kind of keep that monster brewing in there for the
For sure.
game, you know, or for sport, and we become people off of that as football players. So, you know, we see physical altercation as something like, yeah, let's do that.
We do that all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
want to do that, let's do it. You know, and we got to know in real life, not the field, it's not going to end in penalty.
Oh, no,
Yeah, it's going to end in penalty.
no, it's gonna end there.
But
Just not the yellow flag penalty,
right,
you
but it
know.
could be worse. It could
It's some
it
bars,
could end
right?
your
It's real
life
bars.
or take years off your
What
life.
the
So
fuck?
let's use it as a learning tool, man. Let's
Facts, big
road
facts.
raise. Let's get to that second thought.
Yeah.
Good.